there, welcome to another video everyone. A little bit of an impromptu video, which as you know I don't tend to do many of these because I tend to prepare a lot of the stuff, especially my BFI and Criterion videos. But I just thought I'd do a bit of a haul video, show you the new releases I've been buying recently. A bit of a mixed bag. So I'm going to start off with the lovely box set that came out at the beginning of this week. Waterloo. I think it retails for about $18.99 or around 20, between 18 and 20 pounds, and it's a lovely set. 1970 film, of course, with Ron Steiger as Napoleon, and lovely sort of slipcover, as you can see there, showing you the rear. And then inside you get a nice booklet, which is here. Waterloo, and some nice lobby art cards there as well, and they're double-sided, which is quite cool. There you go, and the other side, and there's the Blu-ray, and it's got a reversible art on the actual Blu-ray itself. So if I take that out, I'll show that to you. I prefer the new art, to be honest. That's the original poster design from the 70 movie. But I prefer the red design that they've put on the actual cover of the box. A nice sort of sturdy box with this as well, which I do like to see. I don't like to see those put that in the wrong way around. No, it doesn't matter. There we go. We can live with the old look Waterloo for a few hours before I completely lose it and then change it around to the new look Waterloo. So let me just leave those things to the side. Nice little purchase, this one, out of print. This one, the Blu-ray of 8.5. Managed to nab this at a really good price on eBay. In great condition, fantastic Fellini movie, of course, and really looking forward to watching that again. Some nice features on this too. I'll show you the back of it, and of course on the older Criterion Blu-rays they have the proper book as well. 8.5, Federico Fellini. Film I picked up on someone else's video that I just intrigued me and wanted to see it. Haven't watched it as of yet. It's Adam Driver in Patterson, but it got 4 stars from Time Out and 4 stars from Hey Guys. Never heard of that really, but obviously I do like Adam Driver as an actor, and I think it might be a half decent movie. So I'll come back to everybody once I've seen this. This is an old favourite of mine, Robert Redford. And of course River Phoenix is in this. Sneakers, which has just been re-released. Very bare bones release, unfortunately, from Universal, but at least it's out on Blu-ray in the UK, and it's a nice film. Really, really funny and quite cool. I think David Strathairn's in it as well. Another one that intrigued me that I bought because again it sounded good was The Last Castle. Not too expensive as well, and it looks quite interesting as well, so I'm going to give that one a watch too. Now I got this mainly because of the commentary from Jack Lemmon. This is the Shout Factory Glengarry Glen Ross. I have to say, guys, the commentary on this is brilliant. Jack Lemmon doesn't just talk about his role in the movie as Shelley Levine. He talks about his entire career, and he's so knowledgeable and so easy to listen to. There's also a director's commentary from James Foley, who directed the movie. ABC, a feature on there as well. And of course, as many people maybe don't know, the play version of this by David Mamet never had the scene with Alec Baldwin and the brass balls. It was put in by David Mamet for the screenplay of the film only. Now this one intrigued me because it's not any David Bowie music in it, because they weren't allowed to use any. But since they announced the film's release, I thought, you know what, I do want to see this, even if I only watch it once and sell it to CEX, because it's a piece of crap. I don't think it's going to be a piece of crap, but I don't think it's going to be way up there, because I don't really know the actor who plays Bowie in it that well, and I think he got a lot of criticism when he was cast as Bowie. Oh, why did you pick him, you know? But there you go. I'm going to give it a go and see what I think of it. I'm a massive Bowie fan, so I'm intrigued more than anything else with this film, Stardust. It's also inside it, quite nice. I'm not going to take them out of the wrapper, but as you can see, quite nice cards come with it as well, which is a nice addition. I think it worked out about £9 or something on Amazon when it was released. Great film this, loved this when I saw this. Sound of Metal, fantastic Riz Ahmed performance in this. I absolutely loved this film, and when the Blu-ray came out, was really happy to buy it. Bare bones release again, no features on this at all, which is a bit disappointing. I would have loved to know a little bit more about how the film was made, and I would love to know more about Paul Rassi, who was nominated, of course, for an Oscar himself as the deaf mentor who takes him under his wing. 3 BFIs now coming up, and of course I do a BFI feature on my channel, so it goes without saying I buy the discs as well as feature them. This is Jungle Fever, the Spike Lee movie. Then we have Radio On, Chris Petit, a 70s movie about a guy who goes to the funeral of his brother in Bristol. All black and white. And then a classic movie, Maeve, about the Troubles in Northern Ireland and a woman returning after some time from the 70s into the 80s to her family and to what has the Troubles have become, basically. That's Maeve. Obviously, Sony, as we all know in the UK, are not producing slipcovers for any of their releases. So I'm a massive slipcover nut, and I just won't be beaten. So if it costs a couple quid more, I'm afraid I have to have it. And In the Line of Fire does have a slipcover, guys, and it's in the US, and there it is. Great Wolfgang Peterson film, of course, with a fantastic central performance from Clint Eastwood, and of course fantastic performance also from John Malkovich. One of his best film performances, I think. I was intrigued by this one now and bought it because it was getting really bad reviews, but I like to make my own mind up. I tend to not watch any reviews, not even YouTube film reviews. I prefer to go into the film completely blind, and I feel the same way about discs. So this is Voyagers, which of course has 3 central roles in it, and it's Ty Sheridan, Lily Rose Depp, Johnny Depp's daughter. Interesting. And Finn Whitehead, and of course Colin Farrell's in there. Voyagers is a science fiction movie, got a very nice presentation, as you can see on its slipcover, and the disc of course is a match for the slipcover, and as you can see 4K, and as of yet only available in America. Then we have a couple I bought in the Criterion sales. I got this one, classic Joan Crawford movie, Mildred Pierce. Great movie from 1945, and one of her fantastic performances. She gave so many, of course, but this is a fantastic performance with her in this character role. Then we have the updated Mildred Pierce from HBO. Now, I found this on eBay for only £6, and I was delighted because it's a lovely box, as you can see, which is quite unusual really for a release. It's got sort of leaflets and stuff in there, digital code and whatnot, but it's HBO, and there's 2 discs in there because I think there's about, I'm not sure how, 5 parts to it. There you go. And there's the back of it. Mildred Pierce. I haven't seen this version of Mildred Pierce. I've certainly seen the Joan Crawford movie quite a few times, but never seen this. It's a television mini-series, and she did get, I think, an Emmy for it. She did really well with this. Don't quote me on that Emmy, I'm not 100% sure. But Todd Haynes directed it, who directed Safe, the film with Julianne Moore in it. Now, I'm a little bit unenamoured by the 4K release of this film. I don't have the 4K of Goodfellas. I bought it and ended up selling it because I was really disappointed with the poor quality of the transfer. There's a lot of grain on it. Now, I'm not a grain hater per se, but at one point I couldn't even watch the movie. There was so much grain on it, and I turned it off and stopped watching it. So I've gone to this Blu-ray anniversary release, which has its own booklet with it as well. Quite nice, robust packaging again, and inside you have the Blu-ray and the features, and a very nice book with that as well. So I've decided to stick, really unlike me, because I love 4K. I'm a great exponent of 4K, but I've decided to stick with the Blu-ray here. It's from the 4K scan, so I know it'll probably upscale on my TV and it'll look pretty good. Hopefully grain less, if you know what I mean, or less grain rather than grain less. Then this is the Dorothy Arzner release that's just come out recently from Criterion of Merrily We Go to Hell. Pre-code film from the 1930s, but a brilliant director, one of the early women directors in Hollywood, Dorothy Arzner. And this is a great little comedy actually, Merrily We Go to Hell. And then we have this baby, the box set Basic Instinct. I've been waiting for this to come to 4K for quite some time. A fantastic movie this. Paul Verhoeven directs, starring Michael Douglas and Sharon Stone. And of course, a brilliant story as well. And a little tale I'll tell you about this. I was with a friend seeing Verhoeven's Total Recall. And I bought the CD soundtrack. Well, I did that a lot in those days. Bought the soundtrack of the actual film in HMV in Oxford Street. And then we went into Forbidden Planet because my friend told me at the time Paul Verhoeven's in there signing things. And I thought, wow, I can get him to sign my CD soundtrack of Total Recall. He was there. He spoke to everybody. He was very nice. And I said, Paul, what is your next film after Total Recall? And he said, and I remember this so well, well, my next film is going to be a psychological thriller. We've already signed Michael Douglas. Basic Instinct, it's going to be called. There you go. It hadn't even been made, and he was thinking about it. He didn't mention that Sharon Stone was in it when I asked him, because maybe she hadn't been signed up at that point. But I remember that meeting to this day, and he did sign my Total Recall CD, and I still got it. Very nice, you know, well, bit of star spotting, big director. Well, he was big in the 90s. Now I'm going on to the second pile, because I've got a second pile of recent purchases to show you. We're going to do another Criterion here. Just came a couple of days ago. This has just come out in the US. A fantastic 2 documentary set called Streetwise and Tiny, the Life of Erin Blackwell. It's about a young girl in the who was sort of a street urchin in Seattle, Washington. And it shows you both as a girl and shows her later as a grown mum with 10 children, would you believe? I featured this on one of my monthly Criterion videos. Haven't watched it yet, but I'm very excited to see this finally, having it in my hands. And I love some of the documentaries that Criterion release. I think they're really insightful. So I'm going to be probably watching that later today. Another one in the sale for Criterion in the UK, Sanjit Ray and the Music Room. Brilliant Indian director, fantastic film from 1958. One I thoroughly would recommend. And another Criterion from the sale. It's really good, the prices on these at the minute. Here Comes Mr. Jordan. Classic little comedy. It was remade in the 70s called Heaven Can Wait with Warren Beatty in the starring role. But this one is a great Alexander Hall film from 1941. And it's a lovely little comedy. Delightful little thing. Now at the end of the video I'm going to show you whether or not this actually will play in a UK 4K player. There's been lots of talk on the forums about this, that it is a US locked 4K release. I don't believe that for 1 second. So I put out my money, I spread my cash on WoW HD and bought this thing. So I'm going to be live on this video. Very disappointed or very elated, one of the two. You'll find out right at the end of the video when we put it in the player and see if the damn thing plays. US Criterion import, fantastic film by Louis Bunel Belle de Jour with the wonderful Catherine Deneuve, the sex kitten of the 60s, as she was called. Then we have a fantastic 9-hour epic. I mentioned this on another one of my Criterion videos. Not Memories of Murder, The Human Condition. Fantastic film. Well, 3 films really, made from 1959 to 1961. A trilogy, really looking at the Second World War from a Japanese perspective. One of the best ever war films made, I think, this. And all black and white, but it doesn't matter. It's absolutely fantastic. Obviously, you need 9 hours, 35 minutes to watch it, and I haven't really spared that much time, but I will get round to see it. Probably a film at a time, maybe one per day. Might get round to it next week. Fantastic release, though. Yes, everyone, bought this. I did as well. Lake Mungo, which is great. Lovely set there. Beautiful release from Second Sight. Second Sight are knocking it out of the park at the minute, I think. I had quite a lot, practically all of the ones they released last year in box set form. And I love this as well. Lovely, lovely book with this really, really, really thick book with Lake Mungo. And I'm not opening them again, but lovely picture cards with that as well. And then you have the Blu-ray itself, which is in a black case, as it should be. Apparently it's a sort of documentary style, verite feel sort to it. I've never seen the film before, but quite a few people on YouTube have been recommending it. So I thought, you know what? I love horror films like everybody else. I'm going to give it a go. Haven't got round to watching it yet, but look forward to seeing that in the next few days. Costas Gavras, great director from the 80s. This is a super film. Jack Lemmon and Sissy Spacek missing. And what you sometimes find is missing in these sets is the booklet. But I got it. The indicator booklet's there, safe and sound. You do take potluck with eBay sometimes, but I did sort of chance my arm and I got it. So I'm very pleased about that. Another little box set. A bit sort of nonplussed by why this came out first and not Short Circuit. Because Short Circuit, directed by John Badham, incidentally, is actually better than this, I think. It's the first one. It's where Johnny Five hit all the teenagers. They all loved it. And all the young kids loved it as well. And of course, it was just a charming little film, Short Circuit. But for some reason, they brought out Short Circuit 2 first. Nice package again, lovely booklet, poster inside. I'll just show you. I'm not going to open the poster. Well, I am going to open the poster up. Why not? I'll have to stand back a bit, but here we go. There you go. Can you see that? Well, part of it. There you are. Short Circuit 2. I mean, it's also on the back, by the way. Short Circuit 2. There you go. And as I say, nice booklet with that as well. Lovely booklet. Lovely booklet. Very thick again. Lovely booklet. Tons of pictures in there. And I think it dropped down to about £19 or so on Amazon. So I didn't buy it straight away on the first week of release. I hung on in there for a little while and then bought it. And got it a bit cheaper. But that's beautiful. That's gorgeous looking, the artwork on that. I vaguely remember Short Circuit 2. Remember Ali Sheedy more in Short Circuit, to be honest. And Steve Guttenberg, of course, was in Short Circuit. I don't think he's either of these. I think he's in. No, I don't think he's either of these, actually. Either Steve Guttenberg or Ali Sheedy. No, they're not in it. I did think that, actually. Big Lynch fan, but of course, still really waiting for this one to come on to Criterion. Hasn't quite made it yet. Inland Empire. If you're a David Lynch fan, it's one you gotta have. It's a brilliant David Lynch film. Been chasing the Oscar nods this year. Of course, some of these have still got to come out in the UK. This is with slipcover Minari. Be interested to see if we get it with a slipcover here in the UK. Not a bad little price on YHD, and it's a lovely film. And her performance, the lady who won the Oscar, she's amazing in it. She's just superb. And of course, Stephen Yeun from The Walking Dead is very good in it as well. Then we have an indicator release that came out, the Ridley Scott movie, Someone to Watch Over Me with Tom Berenger. 2K restoration, this. Nice package. I can certainly tell you Man vs. Film will have this. He buys every indicator release coming out. I don't buy every one. I only buy the ones I really want to buy. The same goes with Eureka. I'm not a mad follower of Eureka, but this one, Irma la Douce, had to have it. Fantastic performances again from Jack Lemmon and Shirley MacLaine. And finally, last but not least, we have The Little Things. Interesting performances from Rami Malek, Denzel Washington, and Jared Leto, I believe, is in there too. I hadn't seen this film before, and I think it sort of got a little criticism about it. It wasn't that brilliant, but I really enjoyed it. I found it quite an interesting watch. So I would definitely give this one my recommendation. Okay, last but not least, as promised, here we go with The Outpost. So I bought this off WOW HD. I'm hoping that it isn't 4K locked. It doesn't say, it says Region A on the back, but then there is a Blu-ray in this. So I think it might be referring to the Blu-ray. If it's the 4K, it's what we call the director's extended cut. There's also the director's extended cut of the Blu-ray on Blu-ray as well. So it'll not be a total washout if I can't see the 4K. I'll be able to watch the Blu-ray. But here we go, folks, the moment of truth. Let's see whether or not it is in fact region locked or not. So the player should reject it immediately in the 4K player. If it's region locked, here we go. Ooh, it's so tense, the anticipation. Reading. Oh, something happening. Was it going to say region code not matching? Oh! I'm afraid it is, folks. As you can see there, in black and white, it is not region B compatible. So it's not the 4K. It's going to be the Blu-ray of The Outpost. I've heard it's not a brilliant film anyway, but there's no point in sending it back. I can sell it. If I don't like it, I'll sell it on eBay to a nice American collector who will be able to play it. But it's sad to know because it's a little bit annoying, and I'll tell you why. I'll just talk for a second why this is on the screen. It pisses me off because, to be fair, all the other 4K releases in the US and the UK are not region locked. The only one I know, of course, recently, and I bought that, was Greenland. That's locked, but it's locked to region B. And of course, we're in region B in the UK. So I was able to play that film and it was really good. I enjoyed that. But of course, if I was in America, I couldn't buy that Scandi release because it wouldn't play on the players over there. All I'm saying, if anybody's in the business watching these videos, stop doing this. Because I don't understand why this really relatively unknown movie is getting a region locked release on 4K anywhere in the world, really, because it's not going to sell millions of copies because it's not that type of a movie. The strange thing, of course, is it's region A Blu-ray, but I can play that because I've got a region A Blu-ray player, so I can play that damn disc, but not the 4K. If I find a way of getting around this, because some people say you fiddle with buttons on your remote and you can play these things. I don't know if you could do it on 4K, but certainly I'll have a play and see if I can get round it. If I can get round it, I'll do another quick video explaining how I did it so that people can make an informed choice. On that note, I am going to sign off. This disc is not compatible with YouTube. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.